Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into something a bit different. It's an outline, actually, for a conversation.
Yeah, an outline designed for a teacher welcoming a new student. It's called New Student Meets Class Teacher.
And it promises a heartwarming and funny school conversation. So our mission here is to really unpack this. How does this simple interaction actually work so well?
Right. How does it manage to be engaging, ease those nerves, the first day jitters?
And even get into classroom rules without being boring. We want to pull out the techniques used here.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how much, careful thought seems to go into what looks like a simple chat.
Totally.
We'll look at the subtle stuff, the jokes, the timing, what makes it, successful for that new kid.
Think of it as a mini masterclass in first impressions, maybe.
Exactly, making someone feel welcome, truly welcome.
Okay, so let's jump right in. The opening. The teacher welcomes Alex, the new student, warmly, which you'd expect, but then, boom, right away shares a personal story about calling a student the wrong name for a whole month when she first started teaching.
Yeah, that's the part that grabs you.
It's pretty vulnerable right off the bat. What does that do, psychologically, for Alex, sharing an embarrassing moment like that?
Oh, it does a lot. I mean, sharing a mistake, especially a funny one, it instantly makes the teacher seem less like an authority figure and more like, a real person.
Approachable.
Exactly. Approachable, relatable. It sends this signal, maybe subconsciously, that says, hey, it's okay here. You don't have to be perfect. I'm not.
Yeah. That must lower the anxiety levels quite a bit.
Definitely. It's like instant trust building. Using that kind of lighthearted vulnerability just bridges that gap, that awkwardness when you first meet someone.
Makes total sense. It feels less formal, more human. Okay, so after that, great icebreaker.
Using vulnerability, yeah.
Right? The conversation moves on. Alex mentions being excited about the school library, and the teacher goes straight for another joke, something about a secret bookshelf that leads to the cafeteria.
Huh. I like that.
And then adds, with a wink, apparently. Just kidding. Or am I?
The little twist at the end. Or am I?
Yeah. What's the effect of that kind of playful ambiguity?
Well, it keeps things light, obviously.
Yeah.
But it also sparks curiosity, doesn't it?
Yeah. Makes you wonder.
And it shows the teacher has this playful side, a personality beyond just, teaching math or history. It hints that the classroom might actually be fun.
Right, not just rules and work.
It makes the whole interaction more memorable, too. That little bit of mystery, it sticks with you.
Okay, and the connection keeps building. Alex then admits, math is my nemesis.
Oh, a classic student feeling.
Totally. And the teacher's response is just brilliant, super dramatic. My archenemy, but don't worry, we'll defeat it together, like Batman and Robin.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's reframing right there.
Explain that. What's happening with reframing?
Well, the teacher takes Alex's fear, this negative feeling about math.
The nemesis.
Yeah, the nemesis. And instead of just saying, oh, it'll be fine, they turn it into this shared mission. A quest.
Us against the math problem.
Exactly. We'll defeat it together. It creates this instant team feeling, an alliance, like you're not alone in this struggle.
So it's not just sympathy, it's active partnership.
Precisely. It turns anxiety into a collaborative adventure.
Yeah.
Way more powerful for building connection quickly. It bypasses all the small talk.
So cool. Okay, so we've seen vulnerability, humor, reframing, all building rapport. But what about, the necessary stuff, like rules, usually the boring part?
But not here, apparently. Even the rules get a twist.
Right. The first one mentioned is no eating bugs in class.
Wait, what? Eating bugs?
That's Alex's reaction, too. Do students do that here?
I'd ask the same thing.
And the teacher's reply, totally deadpan. Once, never again. And then a shudder.
Okay, that's brilliant. Why does that work so well? It's absurd. Well, the absurdity is the point. It's memorable precisely because it's ridiculous. It grabs your attention, shows the teacher's quirky personality again, and believe it or not, it does set a boundary, just in a really funny way.
Without sounding like a lecture.
Exactly. It avoids that whole preachy, finger-wagging tone. It makes rule-setting engaging instead of dull. A bit of the unexpected makes important info stick.
I can see that. And the second rule is just as creative. If you're late, you have to tell a joke.
Oh, I like that one too. Instead of detention, a joke.
Yeah, and the teacher even gives an example. Why did the math book look sad?
Uh-oh, math again.
It had too many problems.
Okay, cheesy but cute.
But the idea behind the rule.
It's genius. It takes something negative, being late, which usually means trouble,
Right.
and flips it. Turns it into a chance for a shared moment. a laugh.
So it encourages a positive atmosphere, even around mistakes.
Absolutely. It's about fostering support, not just punishing errors. Think about it. Playful consequences, rather than just punitive ones, can make people want to follow the spirit of the rules.
Yeah.
It creates buy-in.
That's a really smart way to handle things. Okay, but it's not all fun and games. The conversation takes a slightly more serious turn. The teacher gently asks Alex about any worries, which is important.
Very important for a new student.
And Alex admits to worrying about making friends.
Yeah, that's probably the #1 fear, right? For anyone starting somewhere new.
Totally. And the teacher gives a pro tip.
Ooh, a pro tip. What is it?
Sit next to someone who doodles in their notebook.
Okay.
Because, quote, artists are cool and bad at saying no to new friends.
That's surprisingly practical advice, actually.
Right. It's funny, but it's also concrete.
Yeah, it gives Alex something specific to do, not just, be yourself or you'll be fine.
Which isn't always helpful advice.
Not really. This is actionable. It's a low-pressure strategy.
Yeah.
Find the doodler. It shows real empathy, understanding that fear, and offering a tangible step.
Such great advice. Okay, final question in this interaction. The teacher asks Alex to invent a school rule.
Turning the tables, letting the student contribute. Like it.
And Alex's suggestion, straight out of every student's dream, nap time after lunch.
Genius indeed. We all want that rule.
And the teacher totally validates it, but humorously. Genius. I'll take it up with the principal right after my nap.
Perfect response. It acknowledges the idea, validates Alex's contribution, even though it's a joke.
Makes Alex feel heard.
Exactly. It reinforces that bond. It says, your ideas matter here, even the silly ones. That's huge for making someone feel like they belong.
So let's zoom out a bit. What's the big takeaway from unpacking this outline?
Well, it really shows how powerful intentional choices in conversation can be, especially in those first moments.
Yeah, it's not just random niceness.
No, it's strategic empathy. Using humor, vulnerability, creative framing, it all works together to turn what could be a really stressful situation,
like being the new kid,
into something welcoming, memorable, even inspiring. It's connection building 101, really.
A true masterclass, like we said.
It boils down to making that new person feel seen, understood. It's like they're already part of the group, not just an outsider looking in.
It really highlights the impact a teacher, or really anyone in a welcoming role, can have with just their personality and approach.
Huge impact. It's not just about the subject matter. It's about creating that sense of belonging first.
Okay, so here's something for you, our listeners, to chew on. We've seen how thoughtfully designed this simple new student chat can be.
Using humor, empathy, those little creative twists.
Right. So the question is, how could you maybe apply some of these ideas? Think about your own interactions, especially when meeting someone new, or maybe when things feel a bit awkward.
Yeah, where could you use a surprising little anecdote? Or frame a rule or a boundary in a more lighthearted way?
Or offer an unexpected practical tip instead of just a platitude. How can you use playful vulnerability, or maybe reframe a challenge, to build that connection, that rapport, just a little bit faster?
Something to think about. How to make those first moments count.